Hello and welcome. Generating a PDF with form responses with Zenphi is one of the most common use cases, and it's very simple. Whether your flow starts with a Zenphi form or a Google form, all you're going to need is your form and a Google Doc, which will serve as a template. We will even replace the information within the table, all in under 5 minutes. Let's get started. First, we must build out the form for our flow. If you are using a Google form, you can skip this part completely. However, if you opt for the Zenphi form trigger, you can use the form builder to add different fields. Add as many fields as you'd like. You can even add new sections. If you're familiar with the Google form builder, this will be a no-brainer. Here's an example of the fields we will use for this project kickoff automation. In the settings, you're able to choose if you'd like to store who filled out the form. You can even redirect them to a new page upon submission if you prefer. Here, you can also limit who can actually fill out the form itself. Let's first add the Create Document from Template action. You can find it in the Google Doc category. You can manually search for it using the search bar or by clicking on the green plus icon. This action will use the Google Doc template we showed earlier to fill out the information while preserving your formatting. Click the gear to configure the action, and from there, click the plus icon to create a new connection to grant access to your Google Doc. First, select your template file. You can select it using the drive icon, or you can paste the ID or URL directly. The ID can be found within the URL itself. The destination folder can be configured the same way. Here, I used the drive icon, so you can see they both work. This is where it's going to save the generated documents. I have created a folder called Projects for this example. For the file name, you can even use dynamic information, in my case, the project name. This will ensure I know exactly what project pertains to which document. This action gives you the option to generate PDF and/or HTML. If this is something you want, make sure to toggle the options. Lastly, you'll need to configure the placeholders. To indicate a placeholder in the document, put it in between 2 curly brackets so that Zenphi knows to replace the information here. Then use the chain icon, our handy token picker, if you wish to add a value from the form in that placeholder. Repeat the process for each placeholder. I have a placeholder for each form value, so I have indicated them all here. The next action we will use is the Send Email action. You need to start off by clicking the gear icon again and creating the connection, if needed, to grant Zenphi permission. You can use dynamic information in any of the fields. In my case, the lead's email is used in the To field, but you can do this same process for CC or BCC as well. Then simply configure your email, add whatever information you think is needed in the subject and body. You can even change the font or color. At the very bottom, you can add attachments. If you want to add the PDF to the email, make sure you toggle the Generate PDF dial for it to actually be able to be attached. A very common error is attaching it and not properly enabling the feature itself. Lastly, save and publish your flow so that it starts upon form submission. I'm going to fill out the form so you can see it in action. I will click Submit and sign in, since I requested the user's email to be stored, and now it has been submitted. Once I see the submission was successful, I can head on over to my flow and see an instance running. If I go to my selected projects folder, I can see that both the Google Doc and PDF have been generated. Let's see what they look like. Let me open the Google Doc first. And yes, just as expected, the documents look great. It completely respected the formatting from my original document, and I have both the Google Doc and PDF version ready to go. Since this flow sent out an email as well, let me head on over to my inbox and see what it looks like. The email looks just as intended, with the PDF added as an attachment. This is such a time saver. I'm sure you're already thinking of all the ways you can implement this process. But it doesn't stop there. Zenphi allows complete customization. What if instead of just sending the PDF through an email, you'd prefer to send it out for signing first? For example, for a contract request automation. Or maybe for faster turnaround time, you'd prefer to send it through chat to avoid cluttering people's inbox. With Zenphi, you can choose exactly what you want to happen. Each of our clients have unique needs, so make sure to contact the customer success team for help with your next automation.